Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going over Solana as it has multiple bullish patterns right now, and there are multiple indicators that are telling me that we could definitely be looking at some type of move upwards in the price very soon. Now, just, to put it out there, of course, guys, I don't have a crystal ball, and all of these patterns in which we are seeing are totally speculative. My job is not to tell you what's going to happen, but to give you my interpretation of what the charts are telling me. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's dive into this thing. So the biggest and most obvious one that we are seeing at the moment is, of course, this inverse head and shoulder pattern playing out at this moment. Now, of course, we can recognize that just by these two levels. So of course we have this level and this level. If we go ahead and we draw these two horizontal lines from here to here and here to here, you can see that whenever we put in this bottom, we put in that same bottom back here on this wick. Whenever we put in this high, we put in the same high on this wick. Now, in between this instance, we did see that there was a bit of a rounding off pattern here, okay, in which we saw this cup and handle pattern form, and then boom, more of a W bottom or cup and handle, however you like to look at it, before the big explosion to the upside. And so that is going to be the formation of a textbook inverse head and shoulders pattern. So what we're looking for at the moment with this inverse head and shoulders pattern is that we are able to come back up and clear our previous high, which is sitting right here, this local high. Let's go ahead and place it there at about $167. If we are able to execute on this move, if we see this push to the upside here, I definitely do believe that we are set to see some pretty extensive moves that can range all the way up. Let's go ahead and apply this directly towards $199 to $200. Now, of course, that is such a strong psychological level that I am under the belief that if we are able to accomplish this, then we would be able to see that move. Now, I also do think it's possible due to the fact that we have seemingly successfully established some type of level of support on top of our previous level of resistance. As you do remember, whenever we take a look at this previous resistance line, let's go ahead and make sure this is perfect. There we go. We can see that as we did create these three local highs, boom, boom, and then boom, we have this trend line that's created. Now, usually what happens is on a breakout of a trend line that is especially this strong, lasting weeks, that when we break out, we have to establish some foundation on top of it. And what we're looking to do right now is to come back down, as you saw, build this support, never lose that level, didn't close it whenever we wigged down, and then use this support here to work our way back up. So in terms of if we have the foundation and support readily available to get us up there, I would say that we definitely do have the support to get us back up towards $200. Now, there's also some technical catalysts that will allow us to make that move as well. The biggest one that I was able to find, of course, is the fact that we are looking at some bullish divergence on the charts here. Now, what we can see is that let's clear this off just for a second, is that looking at our chart, right, we had our recent low, which was down here, and then we set another low. Well, if we go ahead and look at our RSI, we set lower lows here on the RSI, but higher lows here. Now, that's going to be textbook bullish divergence. What this is telling us is that as we are putting in some of these lows, we're giving ourselves even more room to the upside whenever we make a break to the top. Meaning that although the price is climbing because we're setting higher lows, our RSI is still allowing itself to have more and more and more room to the upside. Just to put it in a very simple kind of analogy, right? And so what we're looking for at the moment is that move to the upside, because of course this is going to correct itself at some point, but the fact that we are seeing some type of bullish divergence within this inverse head and shoulders means that there is strength to this inverse head and shoulders, and we definitely could be looking at the break through our shoulder line, which is again sitting right up towards $169. We can also see that on our MACD at the moment, we are about to have a very bullish cross. If this is able to continue up and we just trend upwards just a little bit more, to be honest, we are probably going to see this blue and orange cross, which in the past has pretty often been a very good sign that some type of move to the upside is going to happen. If we do kind of just look at the last one that we saw, it was going to be right back here, in which was the beginning of this nice little uptrend to the top. And then before that, we saw another one here before we saw this nice move. And so this definitely goes to say that we could be looking at enough of a move to get us to our shoulder line. And if we're able to clear our shoulder line, maybe clear our shoulder line, establish support, boom, I think that move to $200 is very, very possible. And so with that being said, just kind of looking at some of these indicators on the 4-hour time frames, things are looking absolutely fantastic. Not only that though, if we just go say, we zoom out a little bit to the daily charts, we can see that we are holding very well on top of our 20 simple moving average. As you can see, the price did come back down a little bit and we were testing support, but it does look like it wants to hold that 20 SMA as support in order to continue upwards. And I think that's incredibly important because we've seen in the past, whenever we were trying to get going, whenever we were trying to really make these moves, we would have to hold that level. We would have to stay above it and boom, allow ourselves to see those explosions to the top. How we did here, and then we lost it here, leading to that crash, okay? And so what we want to see here is that we are able to hold that 20 simple moving average and use that for that big push back up again towards $200. Now, the way in which we will know that this is starting to get kind of invalidated or that we may not be looking at the big move to $200, of course, is if we come back down at this moment and lose our head. Now, the good thing about it is it's set such a low that, we have a lot of room to work. Realistically, the price could still roll a little bit here and put in a lower shoulder towards $145, towards $143, and it's really no issue there, okay? But what's going to be important is that we do not come back down and lose the low that we set for this head, which is again at $140. Now, we also do want to see that we are able to hold support above this key level, but above our previous resistance line, now flipped as support. And so realistically, even if we trend down all the way like this towards $140 and still put in a low, we could still be looking at this pattern and looking at this move just a lot less technical, okay? But if we start to see the price do something like this, in which we lose our resistance line here, and we start to come back down and put in a lower low, well, then we're looking more at some type of, descending wedge with a fake out rather than looking like an inverse head and shoulders, this leading to a breakout, okay? And so with that being said, just look to see that this resistance line is going to hold. It was previous resistance. We want to flip this thing as some support, and even if we do trickle down and continue downwards, we just want to stay above our previous head level at $140. Overall, our goal right now is to get up to $167, hold that level, and continue upwards, because you can see that on the VPVR, for example, just looking at some VPVR resistance and support, that we are at the key level right now, and if we are able to break past this massive hill, that we're really more of just a downhill roll, in which there's a strong chance where we clear this level. That's our last big area of resistance, as we can see, and then we likely will start to roll to the upside. So keep a very close eye on these levels. I think this has a very high likelihood of playing out. Things are looking really bullish right now, and I'm very excited to see how this thing does go forward, just in terms of, okay, are we going to clear this level? Are we going to clear the shoulder line, back test some support? Because if we do so, guys, I think that could be a massive move. And now don't forget that if you do want to take advantage of these big moves that we talk about, if you do want to get in, make some trades yourselves, if you want to short the market when things are falling and make some long calls whenever the market is moving upwards, as well as having super high volume on your exchange and all of that good stuff with minimal fees, go down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to ByBit for those of you who are outside the United States. I know trading can get quite difficult sometimes to find a good exchange. Well, ByBit does an absolutely amazing job, especially with the very, very low fees. If you do sign up and deposit $500, you will get a free $25 to play with, as well as the fact that whenever you do deposit $500, you go into a raffle to possibly win another $500 completely for free. So definitely do go down there, go sign up, go check that out. And with that being said, I will be updating you guys as soon as we do see a move, okay? Be on the lookout for a video, turn on all those notifications so you know exactly what happens when we see a big move, and I will see you all next time. Peace.